first of all, we have to create our folder. And I just created a folder here. And I named the folder Bootstrap's website. Is under documents, and inside Bootstrap's website, I have index.html. Okay. I'm going to minimize this. And I'm going to open my index.html. So inside index.html, I have some comments here. The first is Bootstrap CSS min files. I'm going to put my Bootstrap's CSS minified file. Inside here is called minified. So, minified in the sense that it has been compressed so that your website can always load fast. And next one is custom CSS. Currently, we're not using custom CSS, but why I put this here is because whenever we start working on custom CSS, we will be able to do what? To add it inside here. So, that is why I have it here at the moment. The next one is papa.me file above jQuery me file. It means that I'm going to put my papa file just inside here above jQuery files. And most of us who have taken Bootstrap courses before will notice that we don't have anything like papa. Currently, most of our designs will run on third-party plugins, and some of them are like our drop-down menus. They need these third-party plugins like Papa to be able to function. So currently, Bootstraps always require you to get a Papa min file so that you can be able to execute some of those things like a drop-down menu. And the next one is a jQuery file above JavaScript min file. So our jQuery file, that is the minified version, will always be here, and the JavaScript at the bottom of the body tag. So all that we need are the minified versions of any of the files you're going to download. Without wasting much of our time, we be like, let's get started immediately. So I'm going to minimize this. So move over here and hit on downloads. Once you hit on downloads, it's going to open up this window for you here. And once the window comes up, you come over here and you hit on downloads. And once you hit on downloads, this is going to prompt you to download the Bootstraps folder. This is the Bootstraps file. I'll go ahead and hit on save now and save as. So it's inside the Bootstrap's website. So I'll go ahead and hit on save. And this will not just take time, it has already downloaded. So let me go ahead and open the file. You can see it is inside here right now. I need to do right now is I'll go ahead and extract all these files so that I can be able to get my CSS and my JavaScript here. So I've extracted it. I can be able to close this and open it here because I've opened this before. So now that I've extracted it, I'll open the CSS, and inside CSS, I have a bootstrap.css, but that is not what I need because this is not the minified version. I have bootstrap.min.css, so I need this. And the next one is for our grid. I have a bootstraps-grid.css. I don't need this because it's not the minified version. I'll go ahead and collect bootstraps-grid.min.css. And the next one I need is a bootstrap-reboot.min.css. So this is what I need, the min files only. And inside JavaScript, I have bootstraps.js and bootstraps.min.js. So this is what I need. Without wasting much of our time, let me open on Notepad and inside Bootstrap's CSS min files. So under here, I'll go ahead and get my CSS file because this is the most important thing for now. So I'm going to say a link, and once I type in a link, I'll go ahead and put rel equal to style, and the style is going to be style sheet. Yes, I hope you read took our CSS tutorial before coming over here, and href is going to point this. Close this right now. Inside here is going to point to CSS footer slash bootstrap dot mean dot CSS. Okay, I'll copy this because I'll get that of grid and that of reboot as well. I'll press and I'll press. And here I'm going to put hyphen grid, and here I'm going to put hyphen reboot dot mean dot CSS. So the next one is for the JavaScript. I will come over here and go back again. Inside JavaScript name is JS, and inside here and I have bootstrap.main.js. So let's go ahead and come over here immediately. jQuery of JavaScript is a scripting language, so I want to say script. And when I say script, our root for the source is equal to JS slash bootstrap dot mean dot JS. So I'll go ahead and cruise this. I'll cruise my script. Come on. Alright, so what is remaining right now is the jQuery and the purple. So go back to your browser and go ahead and hit on jQuery.com/downloads. So if you hit on jQuery, it's going to take you to jQuery website, and go ahead and hit on downloads. It's going to take you to this point immediately. So what I need here is download the compress production jQuery 3.2.1. So go ahead and hit on downloads right now. And I can see that I'll go ahead and hit on this. It's 3 immediately. Come over here. I'll go ahead and hit on save. So it has already saved. I'll close this. Now, let me go ahead and open it. Go to Bootstraps, and this is jQuery file that we download. I'll cut this file and put it on the JS. I'll press this here. Can see that? So now that I've pressed it, let me go back to my notepad and I'll go ahead and copy the JavaScript link and paste here. So now what I need to do is come over to my jQuery and get the name so that I don't make any mistake, because I hate making mistakes. Okay, now that I've copied it, I'll come back here and I'll go ahead and change this from bootstrap.main.js to jQuery -3.2.1.mean.js. So we'll have to be sure that this is it. So you can see that. So the next thing that is remaining is mean minified file. I always got this mean because I put it as mean.files. Okay. So if you hear me say mean, just know I'm trying to say minified. Alright. Okay. Go back here and I'll hit on Papa. Let me bring this close to us. You can see that papa.js.arc. So we can see that papa.js.arc, and when you hit on that, it's going to bring you to this page and hit on download version 1. And when you hit on download version 1, it's going to bring you to this point immediately. And this is a GitHub. You can see a GitHub, and they record as GitHub or GitHub. So I think it's hub and not up, please. So sorry for that. Alright. So we're going to download the latest version. We have different versions. You can see that. But we're going to get version 1.1.5. So go ahead and hit on download source code zip. So this is what we need. How you go ahead and download this. But the zip is what you need. Okay. So right, we can be able to use it. So go ahead and download this. I have already downloaded it. So let's go to the folder and check it out. So it's on my folder. You can see papa.js iPhone 1.1.2.5. I'll go ahead and hit this open and go to your dist folder, which is up here after .github, and open this. So now that you opened it, all you need is just the min file. So the first one is a popper.min.js. I'll select it, and down here you can see popper-utils.min.js. So these two files is what you need. Go ahead and copy this right now and go back to your JS and paste it here. You can see you've pasted this popper.min.js and popper-utils.min.js. I'll go ahead and minimize this and open my Notepad++. Let me go ahead and because it's a scripting language, I'll go ahead and paste this here, and I'll go paste the next one. So what I need now is a popper.min. I'll change the jQuery to popper.min.js, and I'm going to change this to popper-utils.min.js. So let's check it out to make sure that we're not running into any problem. Consider popper-utils.min.js and popper.min.js. So we've gotten this, and the question is, how do we know that this is really working? Because that isn't the question you're going to ask me. But don't ever freak out, because I am with you. So let's go ahead and create a simple button. I'm going to say a button, and inside this button I'm going to give it a class is equal to btn primary. So if we have a blue button, then we know that this is really working out fine. So let's go ahead and close this, and the name of this should be click gestive. Alright, yeah, you can change that to your name, because you are not going to click me, please. Alright, so go ahead and press Ctrl S on your keyboard. If you have done that, move on to Run and launch in Firefox, Internet Explorer, or Chrome. I prefer Chrome always, I don't know why. So I have Chrome here. Oh yeah, it's coming on. So, whoa, you see, click, and this is not in the green, it's not in the blue color. So let's know why we don't have a blue color right now, because it is very, very serious. Alright, I said btn equal to, this is btn iframe and not equal to, guys. So I'm still going to teach us about colors. Alright, I was still going to teach about secondary, primary sources, info, danger, warning. So this is, you see, this is not equal to, this is iframe. Save this again and open this. Cause see, this button is not yet blue. Let's refresh. Wow, you see that? And it's just a dumb button doing nothing right here. Can see that? Just a dumb button doing nothing here. So let's make sure that our jQuery and Popper and JavaScript are working. So how do we do that? Let's put an action here called onClick. Well, what is that? onClick is equal to $, and that is our jQuery. This dot hide. So when you click on the button, it should just hide immediately. I hope that is going to be very awesome. So now we've done this. Go ahead and press Ctrl S again and go back to this. If I click, it's the dump button. Now refresh. Alright, let's click on this again. We consider it disappears. Refresh, it comes back. Click, it disappears. Refresh, it comes back. Click, it disappears. For a while. Let's refresh again. Yeah, it's back. So now I'll go ahead and close this, because we're working on that thing differently in the next video. And in the next video, I'll go ahead and teach us how to set up Bootstrap CDN. So Bootstrap CDN is content delivery network. So you can always run that on your server, but that is in the next video. So in the next video, we kick off immediately and move into it. I really believe you left something in this class. And in case you have any question, don't fail to box me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Previously, we were able to set up Bootstraps on a local machine, and we saw how sweet it is. And it was very interesting as well. Now, some people don't like working with our Bootstrap CDN simply because if Bootstrap server is down, your site will be down. But while you work on local machine and upload the files to your own server, even if Bootstrap server is down, your site will never be down. But all this while, Bootstrap server has not been down. I don't know why. Yeah, it has not, because they are really maintaining that. And I think they're doing a very great job. So, I'm going to teach us how to set up Bootstraps on our CDN, that is Content Delivery Manager. Now, go to your browser, and here, go to Downloads. Remember, you're going to click on Downloads, so it will land you here. So, put this down, and you have Bootstrap CDN, the Content Delivery Network. And here, I'll hit on Copy to Clipboard. I'll copy this, and I'll go back to my Notepad++. So, above here, what I copied from there is both JavaScript and CSS. I'm going to paste this here. So now, I have to remove JavaScript. This is JavaScript for the last one there. So, you can see that we have our two things we copied. Bootstrap.mean.css, and the next one is a bootstrap.mean.js. So, I'll have replaced all those ones we did before with this. So let me go ahead and copy this out from here. So I'll go ahead and I've removed the JavaScript version, and down here, I'll go ahead and replace the JavaScript version here. You see that? So I've replaced the JavaScript version and the CSS version. So it is no longer from a local machine, but from CDN, that is Bootstrap's server. So it remains jQuery and Opera. So what I do now is I'll go back to my browser, and I'll hit on Copy. Remember, this says if you are using our compiled JavaScript, don't forget to include CDN versions of jQuery and Opera.js before it, so it should always be above JavaScript. So go ahead and hit on Copy. I've copied it, and I'll go back to my Notepad++, and I'll go ahead and replace this. Let me put the jQuery because jQuery comes on top, so that I can be able to remove the purple. Alright, so I've pasted this here, and I'll go ahead and cut this. Okay. Alright, so I've removed the purple. Is it there? So this is jQuery, and this is what we have downloaded the earlier before. You can see there. So now I'll go ahead and replace the purple. I'll press this here. So you can see that it's really long bunch of codes compressed together, encrypted file, I swear. So now, let me go ahead and put this maybe I'll give it tab so that it will not confuse us. So the first one is for the purple. You can see that purple.js, and then this is a jQuery, and this is JavaScript. So what it means is that this is running from their own server and not from your own local machine. And our CSS, we have all our CSS files. They're all there. Alright, so let's kick off right now. We have this button that we have previously, and if we go ahead and press Ctrl S on our keyboard, you can see I've pressed Ctrl S on my keyboard. So let me go back. Okay, let me go ahead and use a launch in Firefox right now because I used Chrome previously. Let me launch in Firefox, and let's see how cool it will be this time around. Because I believe that this should be very interesting. So I'll go ahead and delete this so that it doesn't ever pop up again. So it's coming up right now. So you can see that we still get it, and this is running from the old server. So if you can follow us running this from Bootstrap server, you can go on and do that. Or on local machine, they are just the same. See, when I click, it hides, and if you go ahead and refresh this page, it's going to come back again. So let me refresh this page. It comes again. You see that? And I click, it hides. I refresh, it comes back again. You see the time it takes, because I told you earlier that my internet is very slow, and that is why I open all those pages. You see, if I click, it takes time. You are seeing the button before it becomes blue. You see that? So, we'll be running online. I will be running this online, and then you should follow me online if you're going to use this. But if you can't use this, you go ahead and maintain the previous one you started on local machine. But, why I usually run online is because of the Papa. Papa is a new, scripting language that will introduce a third-party plugin to, Bootstraps. And, I'm not sure if you're going to encounter the problem. But in order to avoid any issue running with Papa, I'm running online to make sure that everything is here. But if you encounter any issue, try as much as possible to go back to the Bootstrap CDN, or you keep running on your local machine. They're all just the same, but for the purpose of this course and this tutorial, I want to make sure that everything works out very interesting and very sweet. So, you've seen about local machine is set up, and CDN setup, and you've seen that it's just very easy and very interesting. So in the next video, I'll go ahead and teach us more on the tips we need to know about Bootstrap. So we have lots and lots to learn on Bootstrap. So it will be very interesting at the end of the course. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Just in case you don't know the difference between a column and a row, or how column works, we'll be explaining everything here, alright? So I'll be taking you step by step. You might have seen all these images like I said in the beginning of this class. All these are made up of what is called columns. So Bootstrap by default has 12 columns. And no matter what screen size you're using, Bootstrap, we have 12 columns from left to right. As the screen gets smaller, the columns get smaller to fit the size of the screen. This means that eventually, some columns might get too small to fit next to each other and have to stack on top of the other. So you can see in this that when you get to your mobile phone, that the system changes. If you follow my introduction in this class, you notice that when we get there, you see that your nav bar begin to compress. Is because they have to stack above each other. So Bootstrap by default has 12 columns. Don't ever get confused, because as a beginner, you might be asking yourself, what are these 12 columns all about? Alright? So the first column, like the header, or you see the header scrolling, you see that most times people make it to contain the whole 12 columns, or anyway, so you can choose whether you want to run from 1 column to 2 column, or 1 to 3, 1 to 6, 1 to 12. You have the whole chance to do that. You have everything. If you're free to use Bootstrap columns anyhow you want. So in this class, we've done that step by step. Like the banner we have here, 12 column banner fit in the whole 12 columns of Bootstrap. So you have like 6 columns, right? You can see this. It really looks like a website, just the way you're building it. So you see some websites, you see some images by the side, some text here, all these grouped differently. So you can choose any column just and how you want it. So you can see you can choose 8 columns, 4 by the side, 8 here, estimating your 12 columns. So this is how Bootstrap is being arranged in different columns. Alright? So I believe that when you finish this video, you will understand the columns more, because we'll go in depth and explain it. So this is how it stacks on the mobile. You see that on the mobile, the 12 columns previously we are arranged this way. You see that? You see the 12 columns on top, 6 by the side, 6 by the side, for what? For your desktop or your laptop or your tabs. But once it gets to mobile, it begins to stack. I hope you've noticed this. This is where the responsiveness comes, and this is one of the greatest features of our Bootstraps that people really love so much. Alright, so you cannot compare desktop and mobile. You cannot compare desktop and mobile and see the difference between the two. So you can see that on your desktop it's just looking different, and on your mobile it's stacked. On your desktop, just the way you love it, just the way you design it, just how it's going to be. But on mobile, it has to be able to stack on its own to, maintain our responsiveness, which it is known with. Alright, that is how we have all these. You have a Bootstrap, and the images were just being on their own. Even the one doing the job is Bootstrap that's helping you to do the job. I hope that by now you've understood how it's being done. So by default you have 12 columns everywhere. Even on the mobile there are 12 columns, but it gets to stack so that it will register for the viewer to see it, and this leads us to what is called breakpoints. Now, Bootstrap breakpoints are script resolutions where Bootstrap decides to allow you to have an alternative layout. This is where you get to decide what elements should start stacking. Is it the fourth or the second? But by default, Bootstrap has 4 breakpoints. The first one is the extra small. Just where you see that is the font, the extra small. So how do you know the extra small? We appreciate if you can get pen and paper and put it down, because I wanted to add that in this video, but I forgot to do that. So extra small, anything less than 768 pixels, 768 pixels, which should be mobile phones and small tabs, are considered as extra small screens. So I hope you've written that down right now. Anything less than 768 pixels, 768 pixels is considered as mobile phones and small tablets. And the next screen we have is small screen tablets. Or small screen, not small screen tablets, small screens. Anything between 768 pixels and 992 pixels. 768 pixels and 992 pixels, which is an iPad portrait screen or another big tablet. These are considered as small screens. We have medium screens, guys, older square desktops, anything between 992 pixels and 1200 pixels, which are iPads or older tablets in landscape mode or old square monitors. These are considered as medium screens. The next one is the large screen. Anything above 1200 pixels, which would be widescreen laptop or desktop. These are considered as large screens. So this is what is known as breakpoints. So when you begin to work with Bootstraps, you will be assigning large screens, medium screens, small screen, extra small screens. I believe that this is the vital point we need to have on Bootstrap's once I design our websites, so that we can always track and know the screen size you are designing this site for. So I believe that you will understood this, and we can go back to it again. This is what we are expecting to get for responsive on every site. And we have normal desktop stack on mobile. This is how it looks on mobile and desktop, the website you designed. So you have seen how it stacks, and this is how it stacks on mobile, and this is how it looks on your website, on your laptop or your desktop. So I have just taken this and back again, and this is where we are. So I believe that you will understood how the Bootstrap grid works, because it's very important to discuss that we know about breakpoints. But you can't talk about breakpoints if we don't talk about the grid and the columns and how it works. So I believe that really this is very easy to understand, And you might be asking me, can we kick off immediately and start working with them? Sure. Let's kick off in the next video and get this grid arranged on our website or on our desktops or whatever you're learning. If you're running that from CDN or for your own local machine anyway, we're going to still test it out and make sure everything works out fine. So see you in the next video where we'll be talking more on grid and seeing it live working on our laptops. So thank you very much, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Previously we explained Bootstrap Grid. Let's go ahead and check it out and see it live so that you can be able to understand it more. So let's go ahead without wasting much time and put a div tag here. And here, let's give this div a class. A class of container. Okay. I have lots of things to explain in this class. Let's go ahead and create our div. So, inside here, I'm going to put on a div again. And I'm going to give this div a class of row. I'll close my div. I don't know why I always miss that slash. Okay, inside this row, I'm going to create another div again. Wow, I have lots of things, and I'm going to explain all of them. So let's give this a class of column, which is col-rg. So rg is for large screen. Let's tag the first column. Let's tag a column 1. Let's give it a background, like the PG means background of primary. Is it going to be a blue color for that? And here, I'm going to close this div. So inside here, let's go ahead and put a paragraph. And I'm going to call this div 1. Come on, I'm going to close my paragraph. Okay, now that I've done this, let me copy this. I copy, and I'm going to make these 1, 2, and 3. So it is currently 4. So I'm going to change this to 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to change the background. The first one is primary, so this will help us to know the background colors again. So we have secondary. We have a background color of success. And we have another one. We have danger. Danger is red. Success is green. And we have warning. We have okay, let's copy more because we must know the columns so we can be able to see them and understand what is happening here. So, I'll go ahead and paste this and paste again. Wow, this is 12 because we are working with job columns here. So I'll go ahead and change this to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Alright, so we are now going to put all the background colors. So we have more background colors, and it's going to be warning. We have a background color for warning, and we have for info, we have dark, we have light. So that's too many, so we're going to work with this at the moment. So let's save this currently and let's open our browser. So I open my browser, so this is the last thing we did in the previous lecture. So if you just jump in, please go back and check it out. I'll go ahead and refresh this. Whoa. See there? It is in a curve form. Let's check it out. So everything is okay. Let's go ahead and hit on ROM and launch in Firefox. Let's launch this in Firefox and gonna see that work out fine. I don't know, it's coming. I remember my browser is very slow, so I don't know what is going to affect this. But my browser is very slow. So I'll go ahead and unmove this as it comes off. Wow. Oh, see that? So beautiful, awesome colors. So you see that there is 12 columns. And some of us might ask in, how do I know this is 12 columns? So now, if you go ahead and add another column, let's add another column and see there. So my sword help on. I'm going to copy this div, copy, and add this. I'll say the team and save. So go back and refresh this right now. Obviously my internet is very slow and I don't know why this is happening. So that set that in, just came down here instead of going here. So this choose that this is really working fine. You can see that it's really working fine. And I'll go ahead and remove this. So this is only 12 columns that are allowed. I hope this is really making sense. So let's say that I need this to be 6 columns. And I'm going to change this background draw info and save. So the last one is 6 columns. And let's go back and refresh these so that we'll see high lows. It's going to occupy from this first one to the 6th one to show us that it's working fine. So whenever my system is just doing this, just know that it's really just wasting time because my internet is really very slow and I am very happy about it. Alright? Whoa, see that? It's really messing out. Okay. So you can see that is from what? First to 6th. So you can select columns just and how you want it. You can select columns and how you want it. Let's go back and check it out again. So you can add, you can put this to be 7, and I'm going to copy this again. And paste. Let's go this to be 14. And this good, so enter 5. Save, so 7 plus 5 is 12. And I'm going to change this color to be 1 in, let me say, the color is 1 in column, so save, and go back and refresh this page. So you see that? So 7 plus 5 is 12, so this how it works. So you have 12 columns, which would present that we want 12, and we have another column, this is our 13, contains 7 columns, and 14 contains just 5 columns, and that sums up to 12. So this how you see how this works, and if I come back here, and change these to be 10 and change these to be 2. Let's save and let's go back and refresh this. I see it's a 13 contains 10 and 14 contains just only 2. So I hope this is really visible to us, and you can see that above here is 1 to 10 and just 2. Now you can add this to fit in at the end. How do you make this to fit in at the end? Go back here and move on top and go to container and put hyphen fluid. So container fluid, save, go back to your browser and refresh or visit it. So this is how you can make a website that extends to the end of the screen, and when you remove the fluid, they will just come loose. I hope this is really making sense and we understood how everything works. So you can still come back and add another one because I want us to understand everything. I'm going to copy 2 here. Oh, come on. I want to copy 2. Sorry. will understand more. I want us to enjoy this because I love my students to play around with everything they learn. So this is 16, and let's change this to be 4 here, and to be 8 at the end, and save. So I'll change this color to be primary, and I'm going to change this to be secondary, and save. So go back to browser and refresh. Wow, you see that? See, this has 4 and terminated 8 belongs to 16. So this is how you can design a website. Anyhow, choose any columns you want this to contain and put it there. But you're going to look more and more in depth of things you're going to do at the end of this course. I promise you're going to be a professional web developer. So this is my target, and we see that it's really working out fine and it's becoming more interesting every day. So I'm going to see you in the next video, and I hope you're going to enjoy it as well. We'll do more and more awesome things on Bootstraps. Thank you very much, and I'm going to see you in the next video lecture. Previously in the lecture with 2 before now, and notice that I put container P, hyphen fluid, and this C where it worked. We'll go ahead and remove the P because it doesn't supposed to be there. So what you said that is still going to work. So I want to clear that, and I want to remove the fluid, sorry. My container would just be container. I don't want it to be at the end. I'll step this. So let's go ahead and remove this bunch of code here. I'll delete this. Okay. Now we're looking at nested grid. How do we nest a grid inside another grid? So I'll go ahead and create a div. And I'll give the div a class. Column, hyphen, let's use a large screen, 6, VG, primary, so there's a background color. I'll close my div here, and inside this div, I'll create a paragraph. I'll say, this is the parent grid, and I'll close paragraph here. And when I save this and hit on run and launch in Chrome or Firefox, anyone? Because I'm used to Chrome. Okay. So I'm launching this in Chrome, and remember my website is my internet is really not fast. Okay. I noticed that something pops up here. So please ignore what pops up here. It's really messing this spot. I have tried much as possible to remove that, but I'm still having challenges. I believe in future classes it will not be there, and I believe it's possible to remove it. So as you can see, this is the parent grid. So what to put another grid inside here? So let's go ahead and minimize this. So go ahead and put inside this div, add another div tag here, div, and give this div a class. Column. Let's give it a column 4. Come on, large screen 4. And let's change the parents with background so that it can be able to differentiate it. Set danger and cruise. And I'll cruise my div here. I'll close my div and I'll the text. This is a child grid. Okay. And now press Ctrl S. Let's sit out in action. Go ahead and refresh this. Let's make sure it's working fine. Whoa, you see that? This is just for colors. And the parent has _ 6 colors. So let's go ahead and change parents to 12 and save. Come back here and refresh. You see that? You can see that? The parent is now taking 12. And you want this to come down. How do you do that? You want it to see we have some spaces down here showing, and this is not at the end. It's just very easy to do. Let's go ahead and minimize this. So if I go ahead and give the child 12 and save, let's rephrase this. The child text 12 and this is not at the end. I'm asking, you might be asking me, why is the child not extended at the end? Go back and minimize this. Let's do that immediate. So above here, go ahead and add a div tag and give the div a class of row and cruise this. So now that you have done this, I'll go ahead and select all this and shift it aside. So now let's go ahead and cruise this div and press Ctrl S. So now we've added row. We'll row here. Let's go back and refresh this. Refresh. Wow. You see that? The child grid now has taken the position and it extends to the end and to the bottom. And you can see that. And no one knows that it is nested aside. So this is how you can nest two grids. And if you go back and change this, the value, so 6 or 4 or anything, save, go back and refresh. I see that. You see that? So the child grid now is now half of the parent and is fitted very well. So this is how you can be able to work with grids. And in your website, you can just put anything, very fine, just very easy, the way you want it to be. I hope this is really very interesting. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. So thank you. Let's go ahead and look at how to add custom CSS file on Bootstraps. So I'm going to bring this down. So if you watch here, you can see we have custom CSS file. We added here. So I wouldn't be doing this step by step with us because we've known how to add custom CSS. If you really visited CSS and CSS3. So let's go to this point. We have this custom CSS created by George Steve. Hello. That's CSS. So it's just an image. And I placed it inside the folder. The folder is called images. So if I click this, it's type.jpg. So I hope we are seeing that type.jpg. I will reduce this again. Minimize, not reduce. Okay. Now we want to use this image here. How do we do that? In Bootstrap, it's just very easy to do. So you notice that I've created a container, and inside this container I have this, and it's still large screen. What I need to do right now is I'll go ahead and copy this. I'll copy this and I'm going to press it again. And inside here, let me get this my profile here. I'll copy this and I'll paste it in the paragraph tag. In the paragraph tag. Okay, I'll go ahead and paste. Wow, it's a very branch of big code. So it's so long and I don't want to break it, so it should be easier for us. Now, I want to bring my image. So the image has a class BG, I think, Justive. So let's go ahead and put a class here. But before that, let's save this and see how it looks. Go to run and launch in Firefox or any browser of your choice. So now we make sure everything works out fine. Okay. Remember that this is really taking almost everything. So you can see that this occupied almost these 12 rows. So let's go ahead and reduce this 12 to be something like 8. And the image will occupy just 4 columns. So the text will occupy this, enter remaining one, save, and go back and refresh. You see that? So we have a space here right now. Let's place an image there. So go ahead and add your class BG. I think. Oh, this is surely outside. So inside here, BG Gestive and press Ctrl S. So remember, their class name is BG Gestive. So that's what I placed here. So I'm just calling the class name to come here. Now let's go back and refresh this. Woo! You see that? It's sure amazing. So this is how you can be able to add custom CSS files and they work out very fine. And let's add a background to this text so that it should look good as well. As a BG primary. Yeah. Primary. Let's come back and refresh this. Wow, you see that? It's really looking good right now. So if you want this image to come down, you can go ahead and amend your CSS file and it will just be, let's put it like 170 and come back here. You see it will take effect. Whoa, what do I just did? So you see that there is a dab at this point. You see that? Let's try our refresh. Wow, you see that? Sure amazing. And everything text shape right now. And it's really very cool. So you can see your custom CSS file works in Bootstraps and it's very sweet and very awesome. So I hope you've learned how to add custom CSS and your Bootstraps and this will working out very fine. So this is just very easy and very interesting as well. I'm going to catch you in the next video. Well, we do something very cool, very amazing and very interesting. So I'll go ahead and minimize this. Thank you and I'll see you in the next video. Let's go ahead and look at our Bootstrap typography. And let's say, for example, you have a H1. H1. And I said, yeah, Mercy. Wow. One more typing. Welcome to Bootstrap by Gestive. Okay. I'm going to add some text. Complete web developer. Okay, complete web developer program. And now it's at here. Let me bring this down so that you can be able to see that. So inside here, this is going to be heading one. And if we save this and launch in Firefox or anywhere, let's see how it's going to look like. You see there, just our normal heading. And I see how this is my background. Let me remove this background from here. Save, and I'm going to refresh. So you see that is a normal H1. Now let's go inside H1 and add something like a small. So the last complete web develop. Close this. And save. And go back again and refresh this. You see that there's a difference between Welcome to Bootstraps by Gestive and Complete Web Develop. You see that this is really small, not just like a Herian. So I hope this is very interesting. If seen some of this, we were going to discuss more on this. So let's look at other typographies. Let's look at paragraph. Paragraph. And inside this paragraph, I'm going to say, this is normal paragraph. And save. Let's go ahead and refresh this. So that this is normal paragraph. Wow, that just is I. This is normal paragraph. So I'm going to copy this paragraph so that we'll look at something different in these two. Let's look at a leading paragraph. A leading paragraph is not just the same like a normal paragraph. So go ahead and give it a class. And the class name is going to be lead. And save. Just go back. I'm going to change this to, this is a leading paragraph. Alright, save. And go ahead and refresh. So, come on. Refresh. Alright. So you see, I have this is a leading paragraph. It's not just the same with the normal paragraph. Hope you can see that. The two are quite different. You can see a leading paragraph and a normal paragraph are not just the same. So let's go ahead and look at other typographies we have on Bootstraps. So the next one is our mark. Let's see how to mark things in paragraph and Bootstraps. See? Come on. Where am I right? Just Steve wants to mark this text. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm going to mark the ones. I'll go ahead and close this and save. Go back and refresh. So you can see that the ones has been marked. Okay, let's go ahead and look at delete. If I go ahead and add a del to this and change this mark to del and save, and if I go back and refresh, you can see that the ones has been striked. So this is similar to strike tags. Maybe you've written something on your website and some days later you found out that this is not the right thing. You can go out there and delete it by putting a del. So it's similar to strike. Let's look at strike. And go ahead and press strike. And save. So go back and refresh. You can see that the text is still just the same way. Alright, the text is just the same way. Let me change it to strike so there will be different. People when you will know that we really did something here. And save. So go back and refresh this. So that Judge Steve strike to this text. Wow. Strike to mark this text. Oh, that is really funny, guys. So I'll put it to back to once. Alright. So let's say we have text. And this text, let me make this to be welcome to web developers Bootcamp. Alright, come on, welcome to web developers Bootcamp. And there we can align this text and then left, right, off centered. So let me go ahead and add a class here. We say the class here is going to be text, row, text, left. I'll go ahead and copy these. Copy. How many times I want to paste this? The next one is text, right? And the next one is set text center. And text justify. Text justify. And let's go ahead and remove the last one. Save this. And let's go ahead and refresh this. You see, we have text left, text right, text center, and text justify. So if you have a very bunch of code from here on justify, you will notice that it's going to be centered very well. So this is all about text alignment. So you can align left, right, center, or you justify. And let's go ahead and look at the uppercase and lowercase. I'm going to remove this. So inside here, I'm going to make this to be an uppercase. Marcy, welcome to web. Developer. Bootstrap, come on. Alright, we're going to web developer Bootcamp. I will delete the last one. And I'm going to over here and I'll say text. Text lowercase. So save this. It's going to change this to a lowercase. Remember, this is an uppercase here. So go back here and refresh. Also add a straight second time. Excuse me. So welcome to web developer Bootcamp. And this is uppercase. So let's change this to lowercase and use. Welcome to web developer who Bootcamp, and this is text uppercase. And save this. Go back and refresh. This is it. Welcome to web developer Bootcamp, and it is in uppercase. Okay, I'll go ahead and shut this down. I can see some of the Bootstrap typographies we have. So if you want to know more about the Bootstrap typographies, you can go to Bootstrap documentation and check them out. So thank you very much, and I'm going to see you in the next video. So we have this table here, and this is a normal HTML table. If I go ahead and here on save and launch in Firefox or any browser of your choice, it's just going to be an ordinary table. You see, it's not looking good at all. So most of us might be like, whoa, what is this? Or we'll minimize this. So what happens is that in Bootstraps, developers just made this to be this way so that you will be the one that we say that that is a table, because you might use that table in HTML as a calendar or anything of your own choice. So Bootstrap, make sure that they don't interfere with that. Therefore, you can play around with it by coming here and add a class. But before then, I'm going to open that. So this is how the table looks. And I'm going to keep this file for you to download as well. So try to download this file. So if you add a class and so that is a table. Alright. Hit on save and go back again and refresh this. You see that looks like a table right now. It's now good looking. You can see the first name, last name, and grade and serial number as well. So let's go ahead and add more classes, some attributes to this class. You can have voice core, table strip. So go ahead and save these. Come back and refresh this. You see that you have some stripes, some callouts. Oh, I don't know what it's called, but this is called stripped. Alright. So stripped, you can be able to do this. I know you might have seen some of these tables, some places in some web browsers. So let's add more. Let's add a border to our table. And let's have a go to do that. Go ahead, add table border. It's called table border and save. You can remove this and save this. So come back here and refresh. So, your table. Come on, let's check it out very fine. And, no worries going on. So this is Boda and not Boda. Wow. I messing things up in this class. I'm very sorry, guys. So this is table Boda. Go back and refresh. Alright, so you can see that we have Bodas here. So your table has Bodas at this moment. Alright. We can have what is called another one, like hover. When you hover over, I said when you hover over. Alright, so when you hover on this table, we have to know that your mouse is there. Let's say table, hover, save this, and go back and refresh. Now you can see that I have removed the border, and you can see, and we can put all these attributes just in one line. So you can go back and let's try putting all these attributes. I will copy this and paste and paste. So the first one we discussed is the table stripped, and table bordered. I hope I don't make mistake this time around. Table bordered and table hover, and save this. So now go ahead and refresh. You can see we have border stripped and they hovering at the same time. I hope that is very cool. Alright. Now we can add a background color to your table if you wish to do that. So just go over here and add a BG. You know, I like working with primary because, so let's go ahead and put some like warning and save. So go back and refresh. Come on, this text time is that. So you can add different backgrounds, and it's still hovering, stripped with border as well. So let's change this to maybe info and save. And when you refresh, it's going to look different, isn't it? And if you go back and change this to primary, save. So you have different colors to play with. Alright, is it there? So this is all about tables. I'm going to keep this file for you to download. Okay, so I'm going to see you in the next video. We will do something very interesting again. And it's going to be very amazing as well. So thank you, and see you in the next video. Let's go ahead and look at some button types on Bootstrap. Bootstrap have some of this suite of some buttons that I would like us to discuss. So let's go ahead and put a tag called button. And let's give it a class. BTN default. So let's give it a default. And here your hasher. So the button should be going somewhere whenever you click that. So for now, I just want it to be hashtag. It's going nowhere. So let's put as button. And let's cross our body. So let's save this and go over here. I refresh this one within the previous lecture. So if you didn't see this, please go back and check it out. So when we refresh, so this is a button. This is a button by default. You can use some. Let me copy this. You can use a link as a button. Let me paste this here and paste this, and inside here I can say input, and here, and the class still remains default, and the type. Oh, come on. The type is equal to button. Alright, so let's give it a value is, the value is input. Alright, so I'm going to remove this href at this point, and I'm going to remove this from here. And then the next one is the submit type. This can act as a button as well. Submit. And the type is equal to submit. So let me go ahead and remove the href and set the value is equal to submit. So what I need to do now is go ahead and remove this button from here. So we can see different types of button. You can use save and go back here and refresh these. Okay. Let's check why our submit is not showing. Oh, this is input and not submit. Input. And that is okay. Save and go back and refresh. So you can see these are different types of buttons we can use. Let's look more on buttons because you have lots of things you're going to do. I'll go ahead and copy these. I think I deleted Eclipsing div here. Alright. So let's copy these. And let's paste it here. I'm going to remove this last one. And let's copy this. Okay. So these putties, we're going to give them different colors. So the first one is primary. The second one secondary. The next one is success. The next one is info. So these are colors of the buttons. And danger. I'm going to paste more of these buttons. So after danger, let's add more colors so we can know how many colors you can use for buttons. We have dark. We have warning. And we have light. So, or lighter, save this. And go back and refresh. This text time is today. So, let's give it space so that you can see most of all these buttons. So, I'll come down here and I'll put a break here. Save and go back and refresh. So you see that? We have different button colors and whenever you navigate, the changes. So this is a light and it looks like the default and the light are not actually the same. This is a primary, default, primary, secondary, success, info, danger, dark. And which one is this last one that we just did right now? Okay, yeah, warning. So, and then light. Alright, so you've seen different button colors you can use, and there are many more of them. You can check out our Bootstrap documentations for more. Maybe in the next videos, we'll go ahead and look at some of the Bootstrap documentations and see what you can be able to do just there. So that we can always use it and how we want. So let me go ahead and pick. I'm going to pick up 3 of these bodies. Yeah, I'm going to pick just 3 of these bodies. Okay, I'm going to copy this row again so that will look more on buttons. Okay, and I'm going to delete all these. So let's look at the sizes of the buttons. So let's keep the first one at default and the primary. Let's put it at BTN. BTN LG. So this is for large buttons. The next one is a BTN small button SM. And let's look at another one. BTN extra small button XS. So save this and let me put a breakpoint so it. This will always give a space. So save this. Go back here and refresh. So you can see that the first one will look at the types of buttons, input button, submit button, and normal button. And the next one will look at the different button colors. And here we look at button sizes. So you can see we have default, big, small, and extra small. So I hope this is really very interesting and when you really understood something from here. So try to practice and practice. That is going to make you a better web developer. And in the next video, we'll go ahead and look at something very interesting again. Amazing and scary. So let me see you in the next video. So let's go ahead and look at some of the basic forms on Bootstraps, like your email, password, your first name, last name, and so on. So first of all, let's create a form. And the class is going to be equal to form group. Alright, let's go ahead and cruise this. And here you cruise your form. Now let's add a label. And let's use this for email. So the type is email. I'm just going to get the email address. Let's cruise our label here. Alright, let's get the input from the user. Input and the type is equal to email. And the class is equal to form control. And the ID is equal to email. So go ahead and close your input. And let's save this right now. And let's go back. So this is what we did it on the previous lecture. Let's go ahead and check it out. So you can see this is my inputs, and I'm going to say George. So please enter an email address. Alright, let's go ahead and put another one, and the next one we're going to put is a password. So we're going to create another one for password. So let's copy from here, form, and paste, and change this for what? Password. And this will be password. Oh, I'm already in George. Password. Wow. Okay, the type here is going to be password again. And the ID is still going to be password. Alright, so now go ahead and save, come back, and refresh these. So we have these, and if I go ahead and type our password, you can see it's a password. Now, let's go ahead and add an upload file. So go ahead and copy these and paste. So this is going to be, if you need to get a file from the user, upload file, and it's going to be for file. File, and the type is going to be file, and the ID, let's make it file, save, come back, and refresh. You see? So a user can click on browse files, and a window will open. So when I hit on browse file, it's going to open, so I can select anything I want to select. You see that? So we're in working our spine. So let's go here and add a submit button. Let's learn how to add a submit button to our forms, because it is very important we learn how to add a submit button to our forms. Alright? So go down here and paste this again. And here, I'm going to remove this, the label, because our forms don't have labels. Our submit buttons don't need labels. So the input type is going to be submit. And the class is no longer going to be a form, because it's going to be a button type. And then we've done button type before. Let's call it a default. And this is not going to be an ID, it's going to be a value. And the value should be submit, so that user knows what he or she is going to do. So submit. Alright, save this and go back again. And refresh. Alright, you see that? So a user can input everything, and he or she go ahead and click. So if I want to make this, so a user must input something before he submits. I say george@gmail.com, and go ahead and hit on submit. You see that is submitted. But you need to ask the user to input. So go back to HTML5 and learn how to restrict users from submitting empty forms, because we've done that previously. Alright, so this is all about basic forms. So you can do more with that. So there are millions of things to be done with forms and bootstraps. They're called bootstraps. Alright, that is Bootstrap. Alright. So thank you very much, and I'm going to see you in the next video. We'll be doing something very interesting again, awesome and amazing. So let me catch you in the next video. Alright, let's go ahead and look at list group. First of all, we're going to use unordered list for this. So I put unordered list, and a class is equal to list group. So go ahead and close this and close unordered list. So inside here, I'll go ahead and put my list with class. I'm going to say list group. Item. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to say teacher. I'm going to close this list. So let me go ahead and copy this. and paste. Whoa, what I just did on this line. So I can put as many as. So the next one is say instructor. This is not just the same, they're the same. I'm more saying students. Let me say university. Oh, come on. University. And this is just a word. Alright, so let's go ahead and press Ctrl S on our keyboard. And we'll go back. So this drop did in the previous video lecture. So let's go ahead and refresh this. So this is what we have. Is really not looking all that good. And I hope that many of us will be like, whoa, George, what is really happening? Yes, it's not really looking good. You see that? Because my internet takes time. And well, it's really not looking good at all then. So I'll minimize this. If I go ahead and change LG to extra small, I'll press Ctrl S. Let's go back and refresh this. Is it there? Looking very awesome here. So this how it's going to look on extra small devices. So let me go ahead and go back. It says small devices. Press Ctrl S. And here, this is going to look at small devices. So I'll minimize this again. Let me maintain extra small devices because I just love the way it is. Now you can make any of this active. Let's make teacher active so that it should look very good. Active. Press Ctrl S and go back to your browser and refresh. You see, teacher is active right now and that takes the primary color. Let's go ahead and disable instructor. So if I want to disable instructor, still inside the class, just type disable. Disabled. Press Ctrl S. Go back. And hit on this. You see that this is disabled right now. You can see how it looks. It's faint. Shade that is disabled. And the others are bright. So I hope you can see that. I'll minimize that. So if what add color. Because you can continue to add active. Let's go ahead and add active again. Which is not advisable. I want us to do something here. You see, I'm having two actives. It's not really good. So if you want to add color of your own choice, you go ahead and put list item group. List group item. Then hyphen. You can put your color. I'm going to say danger. And that is for students. I'll press Ctrl S on my keyboard. Come over here. I'll refresh. Is it there? The students is now. The students is red color danger. Let's change that to. Let's copy this and press in different colors. Copy. Okay, so this is going to be warning. And then the last one is going to be success. Yeah. Save. And come back here and refresh or set it. So these are group. And issue making is very interesting. I hope you are really enjoying this. Okay. So this is all we have to say about list. There are many more things. If you want to learn more on list, check out our Bootstrap documentations for more of them. And I have talked about Bootstrap documentation. Maybe in the subsequent in the next videos, we'll go ahead and check out how to use Bootstrap documentations so that it will be easier for us who have to learn some things there. But that would be in some videos coming next. So thank you very much, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Today, I'll go ahead and teach about Jumbotron. And most of us will be like, what is Jumbotron? How? Yeah, we're going to look at Jumbotron. And first of all, I believe you don't know what Jumbotron is all about. So let's go ahead and do that immediately. So for div tag, and it's a div tag class is equal to Jumbo. Jumbotron. I'll go ahead and close this. And I'll close my div tag here. And I'll save. Oh, this is all about Jumbotron. And I know you are very surprised. So let's go ahead and run this. So this already did in the previous lecture. Is there this extra small? So I is not really looking good. So go back and put my large screen. That's why I love using large screen. Alright. So go back and refresh this. You see that? I know you might have seen this on some sites. And they were like, oh, how did I get this? No problem. Let's go ahead and if you want, you can break it down. We can put a break here. So that you will know that it's not coming from the top. Save. And go back and refresh. You see that? There's a space now. Let's go ahead and write some things inside Jumbotron. I'm going to say #1. And I'll cross my #1. Okay, inside #1, I'm going to say web developers Bootcamp. So let's give this to be at the center. We'll say class. Set text. Center. Alright. So let's put some paragraph and write some things. Just as idea. Close the paragraph. And let's give this paragraph a class. Text center. And let's say complete word development tools. I save this. Come back here. I refresh. You see there? Web developers Bootcamp, complete web development tools. So you might have seen something like this. Also websites, and you'll be asking yourself, how did I do this? How did I get this? This is the work of Bootstrap. And is known as Jumbotron. So write the class that gives you this. So let's go ahead. You can go ahead and put a background color if you really need one. Let's say dark. Let's say primary. Yeah. Anyone, you're free. Always up primary. Save this. Go back. And refresh. You see there? Web developers Bootcamp. So this is all about Jumbotron, and I hope you really enjoy this. So you can add many things inside here, and it's really looking very good and very sweet. Alright, so I think I would like this to be danger. Save this and go back and refresh. Whoa, you said it? I love this to be a danger because it's really interesting right now. So this is all about Jumbotron. In the next video, we'll go ahead and look at whales. You're going to know about whales in the next video. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video lecture. Previously, we looked at Jumbotron, and there we understood what Jumbotron is all about. So let's go ahead and look at Well. I'll go ahead and copy all this, because we need to work with example. As a beginner, we learn by examples, because if I keep talking, you will not understand what well is all about. So go ahead and remove the jumbotron and replace this with well. This is not the well where it brings water. And let's change the background to be something like a duck. And save. Let's go ahead and remove this text here and replace it to a red text. I'm going to say this is copyrights. Copy. (2017). Alright, and I'm going to give it a class. Text center, so it will be at the center. And save. Well, let's add a style so that this to make sure everything. So style color of the text is equal to white, because we made the well to be dark, so we don't want the black color to conflict with the color of the well, so we need this to be a different color altogether. Go ahead and save this and go back. So this is what you did in the previous lecture. In case you jump into this lecture, go back and check out this class in the previous video to see how it got well. I'll go ahead and refresh this page. So you can see how well looks like. So most of the footers you can see well. And where can be used so many places, just depending on your own choice. Because the well is too small to compare with the jumbotron. So you can use well in many places. You can use it in the footer if you want. You can use it anywhere, just anywhere you want. But the main essence of this is for you to understand the difference between a well and a jumbotron. So I really hope that you understood this, and henceforth you begin to learn the difference between a well and a jumbotron. When we minimize this so you can see the code, you can always play with this code and make sure everything is visible parts. So here is our jumbotron and here is our well. So I hope you really understood this. In the next video, we'll go ahead and look at Dropdown. So I will see how to use Dropdown in Bootstrap. So thank you very much, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Okay, let's go ahead and look at how to create a drop-down menu. So let's create a div. And I'm going to give it a class of drop-down. Go ahead and press a div and let's do that. So we're going to add a button that will serve as a drop-down and a class is going to be equal to btn. Let's make it connect to the primary. Drop down. Toggle. So where you toggle it, it's going to activate immediately. So the type is equal to button and the ID is equal to a more current button drop is going to be button drop down. So that is ID and the data toggle is going to be equal to drop down, just the class name, drop down, So how is called area has pop up. Area has pop up is equal to true. So this should be immediately trigger this to pop up. And it will expand quite fast. Oh, area expand. Area expanded. Quite fast. Go ahead and create this. Let's put the name to be Dropdown. And go ahead and create a button here. Okay. So save this and go back to your browser. So this is what you did in the previous lecture and refresh. You see, it's really not active. You can see that. Let's minimize this again. Let's put a div so that it can be able to toggle. Div, the class is equal to drop down menu and area labeled by is equal to the area labeled by is equal to button drop down. So it's going to be the name, the send name with the ID. I'll go ahead and create this. So I'm going to close this div. So don't forget this. Go inside the div. Let's go ahead and put an anchor. The class. The class detail. Drop down item. Hasher. Equal to is going to take us nowhere. And let's say the first one is Java. Go ahead and use your icon tag. So I want to copy this. Copy. So next one is PHP. C++. CSS. And HTML. So go ahead and save this. I hope you can see the code because you are going to work with the code. Alright, go ahead and go back. See, this is the done button. Go ahead and refresh. Now, we'll click on this so that it drops down. And I hope it is very, very easy. So, you can select anyone you want to select. You see that? Just very easy and very interesting. So this is how we created Dropdown in Bootstrap. It's very straightforward and you don't have much thing to do here. So I hope you can play around with it. And if you have any question or to box me, I'll be back to you as soon as possible. So thank you very much and see you in the next video lecture. We will create something very interesting again. So I'm going to catch you in the next video. Let's go ahead and look at how to create different navigation on Bootstrap. It's just very easy and now you're going to enjoy this. So let's go ahead and start immediately with an ordered list. And the class is equal to nav tabs. Alright, go ahead and close this. And close your ordered list. So inside here, we're going to create some lists. Some lists. Oh, or is this? And we're going to give it a class. And the class is equal to nav item. Close this. Come down and close your list. And inside this, we are going to give an anchor tag. Wow. Too fast. Class is equal to nav link. Nav link. And hash route. This is a hash route. Support to hashtag is not going to navigate us anyway. But say this is home. There's an anchor tag. So I'm going to copy this list many times. Copy. Paste. So the next one should be reply for anything. The next one should be causes. The next should be the accounts. And we can go ahead and push as many as you want. And you go ahead and save this. Go back and refresh. So this is what you did in the previous lecture. So once you refresh this, so it seems we didn't save this, alright? So let's save this and make sure it's working out fine. Ctrl S on your keyboard. So Ctrl S on my keyboard, hit run and launch in Firefox. Okay. And here it comes. So you can see your navigation bar. And anyone you bring loose, you can see. Let's make one active so that we can see this working out very sweet. So go back and make your home active. Oh, this is outside the class. So inside the class, active, Ctrl S on your keyboard. And when you go back, you refresh, you can see that my home is active right now. And you can see that this is really very interesting. You can see how the home for second. And anyone you bring loose, you see that? So I'm going to show another type. Go over here. For that list and change the tabs to POs. You see that? Nav, POs and save. Go back and refresh. You see that? This has immediately changed. It is no longer the previous one I had before. So this is the type we have right now. Home. You see that? Home is active. So these are types of navigations we have. And I hope it's really very simple to understand and very easy to follow. So once you put something here, let's say this is a www.google.com and save. So save this and let's go over here and check it out. So also click this. Remember my internet is too slow. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Alright. So also click. Oh, come on. I'm gonna close this. But to run and launch in Firefox. What you have is slow internet. This is the type of thing you face always. So that my internet is too slow and this really takes us to Bootstrap. Remember. And the next one is that I'm now running this on server. I'm running it on my local machine. You see there? It's not directly from server. And I'm having this extension here, so it's written about wrong. And you can see that doggo.com is just at end here. Alright, what's this? You can change this to hashtag, so don't run into problem because you are still learning and save. Okay, these are button applications, can just play around with it. So you can understand it more. It's very interesting and very amazing. So we can always come back and change this to tabs again. Then change to tabs and save and see what it gives you again. So thank you very much, and see you in the next video lecture. In the next video lecture is going to be very interesting, and I promise you it's going to be amazing. So thank you, and see you in the next video lecture. So let's go ahead and look at another video lecture. Here we'll be talking about a nav bar, but this time around I'm going to introduce us to Bootstrap documentation so that we know how to get all these things from Bootstrap. In case if you would ever want to do that in future, I'm going to minimize this, and this is the official homepage of Bootstrap, because I promise all that I'm going to show us everything we need to excel in Bootstrap. So go ahead and hit on documentation just right here. So hit on documentation, and it should redirect you to this page. And here, move down and click on components. You see that? And hit on components. So at this point, you can select anything you want to select here. You can take anything you want to take. You can see the callouts we've been talking about. So there are many things to learn from this page. So you can learn more and more from Bootstrap documentation. So let me go ahead and hit on Nav Bar. Just here is there Nav Bar. I'm gonna hit on Nav Bar, and this pops up. So let's select any Nav Bar we want. You can select any of these. You have different, many of them. You can choose any one. You see that? You can choose any one of them. So I'm going to take one so that you can be able to discuss drop down. So let me take this immediately and go back to my notepad, and I'll go ahead and paste it here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to select this and now shift it inside. Okay. So that is it. So I can go ahead and change. This is what we have, and we're going to check it out. So we go back to your browser. This is what you're expecting to get. So I'm going to leave it just the way it is because I don't want to make many changes. But if I should do any changes, I'm going to do it so that you can be able to know how we can make some changes if we want to do that in future. So you can go ahead and click on home or change that. Click and change to profile. Click and change to login. So here you can change this to Java. So here you can change this to HTML. And here you can change this to CSS. First, press Ctrl S and make sure that these three working are fine. So go to run and launch in Firefox. Okay, so you can see this is what we just did, and hit on this, it drops down. You see that? We've treated drop down menu, and we've treated navigation bar. I'll minimize this. So you can see that this is combination of the navigation bar we treated and the drop down menu joined together. So I don't have much to talk about here because we've explained all this in the previous lectures. So there is no much we can do here, because I believe that if you're really following this course from beginning till now, I believe that this is very easy. You can go ahead and change the background. So let's say primary, that I usually use primary. I've changed the colors, so you can select meters of colors from Bootstrap documentation. go ahead and refresh this. You see there? It's blue right now, so that is the primary color. So, these are about Nav Bar, because I really want to show us how to go to Bootstrap documentation and select anything you want to select anyway, anyhow. So after you finish this lecture, you can know how to master Bootstrap documentation and play around with it anytime. It's going to be very easy for you and very interesting. I promise you that at the end of this lecture, you're going to become a professional web developer. So thank you very much, and then I'm going to see you in the next video. We'll be talking about something very interesting again, very awesome and very amazing, and that is the Bootstrap Collapse. So thank you, and see you in the next video lecture. So in this lecture, we're going to look at Bootstrap Collapse. And most of us might accent, what is collapse? Okay, so most of the times you might have clicked on a button, and this is, it just drop down with an information here, and you can correct caption, and you click, you see that it comes up and goes up. So we want to implement this right now. So go ahead and close this, so we'll tick off immediately. So inside here, let's go ahead and create a paragraph tag. And I'm going to close my paragraph tag. So inside the paragraph tag, I'm going to create a button. And this button is going to hold our expand and collapse. This is equal to btn, and the btn, the color should be primary, and the type is equal to padding. So the type is equal to padding. And let me come down here, so that's out. We don't get it hidden behind, so data toggle. Data toggle is equal to, whoa, this is collapse. Collapse. And data target is the text that you want to collapse. So the data target is equal to, let's say, hashtag collapse. So he's want to collapse the text. So we have hashtag collapse text. And the area expanded. Area expanded is equal to pause. And the area controls is equal to collapse text. Alright, so go ahead and close this, and this creates the button. So go ahead and create a button just here. Alright, so inside the button we're going to put a text, and this is our collapse/expand, or anything you call it. So I call it collapse/expand. So now that you've created a button that enables us to toggle, so let's create the content. So we want to create the content, go ahead and give it a div tag. Create a div and a class. This is equal to collapse and ID. This is equal to collapse text. Under here and close this. So, try to close this also. Okay, so close the div tag. And inside here, I'm going to put another div again. And the class of this div, the class of this div is going to be called a card body. So this is where the text to be written. It's called card body. So go ahead and close the div. So I'm going to put some bunch of text here. So I'll go back to this dot part and copy this profile. Put it first top here. Copy. Alright. And I'm going to paste this bunch of stuff here. Let's check it out. So these are very bunch of right top or profile or. Okay, save this. So once you save this, let's go ahead and run and launch in Firefox. Alright now. Come on. Yeah, this is, you can see there, yeah. And go ahead and hit, see that? Expand, collapse, expand, collapse, expand, collapse. So, I hope that it's really very easy. You really understood Bootstrap Collapse, and it's very interesting how you're doing this together. So thank you very much, and I'm going to see you in the next video. We'll be looking at something very interesting again, and I promise you it's going to be more interesting as we move on, and that is modal. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video lecture. Let's go ahead and look at modal, and you'd ask me, what is modal? Many times you might have been on a website and when you click on a button, it pops up something like this and you'll be like, oh, what is this? Can I be able to do that? Yes, you can be able to do that. It's just very easy. So let's kick off and do it immediately. I'll go ahead and use this. So inside here, I'm going to create a div. Before that, let's create a button that will do the job and then we'll start creating a div. Yeah, it will be more easy up on that way. So I will remove this button, and read a button plus btn primary and type so go to button, data toggle, is equal to modal, and data target, is equal to my modal. What's this? Let's give the name modal and create a body here. Alright, so now we've created a button and we'll save this. Go to ROM and launch in Firefox. You just have an empty button doing no job. When you click on it, it's just be a dump body. Alright. That is it. So when I click, you see it's did nothing. How we minimize this? Now, let's go ahead and make this to work. So fine, by creating a div. And the class of this div is going to be modal page. And ID is going to be my modal. Go ahead and create this and come down and create a div So inside this div, we're going to create another div again. The class. Modal. Dialog. We're going to create this div again. And inside you're going to create another div again. Or just creating divs. And now. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, what's happening, George? We need a modal content. Modal content. Gross. And you create a div here. So inside here, create a header, a body, and a footer. So let's create another div. Wow. Div equal to class modal header and this I'm going to press my DVA. Alright, so let's copy this. Copy. So we have to create some monster div. So this should be modal body. And this is going to be modal footer. Okay. So inside the modal head, let's give it a heading of maybe #3 or #2. Let's do it #2. Onwards it. Web developers. Bootstrap. Perhaps cruiser #2. So the body has got the contents on text. Paragraph. Best. Online course. And web development. And the footer is for us to dismiss so that to be able to close the button anytime. To be able to close the button anytime. So just create a simple button inside the footer and we'll say button type button plus is equal to btn default size color. Now bring this down here and we'll say data dismiss. So whenever I click this, it dismiss. Data dismiss is equal to modal. Where's this? One of the caption of Bruce. Where's a button tag? Alright, so let's go ahead and now we could just very before you here, hope you can see that. Press Ctrl S on the keyboard and go back to your browser. This is a dumb button. Go ahead and refresh this guy. Alright, click. Wow, see that? Web Developers Bootcamp, best online course in web development. I hope that is cool. And when you click on Bruce, that goes for click. You click outside, it just to go up, see that? See close, so that people we know they have to close it. That is very, very interesting, and that's how to create modals. Bootstrap, just very easy and very straightforward. So I hope you really enjoyed this course, and thank you very much in the next video. Go ahead and look at something very interesting again. So, I'm going to catch you in the next video. Bye for now. Today, we're looking at Bootstrap Carousel, and here we accent where is cursor. So you might have seen this scrolling from right to left. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, from right to left. And you accent how do we achieve this? It's very simple and very easy. So we'll be designing ours from scratch. So let's go to our folder. Inside our folder, under images, if I open this, I have these two images here, scroll 1 and scroll 2. So we'll be using these images to achieve this. So you can, I'm going to put all this for you to download. I'll go ahead and minimize this. And I'll go ahead and close this elsewhere. Okay, now it's gone. First of all, we create a div tag inside here. A div, and the ID of the div is going to be my slide, and the class is going to be carousel slide, and the data, right? So we still have too many data in this class. So data right is equal to carousel. Okay, go ahead and close this. And come down and close your div. Oh. Alright, now that you've done this, go ahead and create another div inside here. And the class is going to be carousel inner. Go ahead and create a div. So inside here, we're going to create a div for the first image and another div for the second image. So go ahead and put a div with your class. And let's call this div to be carousel. So this is carousel item, not just carousel. Carousel item. If I'm not pronouncing that very well, please help. You should pardon me for that, okay? And div inside here, I'm going to put my first image on a saying image, and the class of this image is going to be D. Oh, come on. The block with a width of 100. And the source of this image is going to be images / the first image there is scroll 1 dot jpg. Hope I'm correct. I'm correct. Alright. So down here, I'm gonna say the alternative dot spread text if it didn't appear equal to GST wall. Okay, alternative equal to GST wall. So let's make sure everything's okay. There's a div here. And save this. Let's go ahead and run and launch in Firefox. Let's make sure everything works out fine. Go ahead and close this. Our image didn't appear. So let's check why are we not getting our image. So I'm going to minimize this. So this is image. Image scroll. Go back to your folder and check our folder. Scroll1.jpg. So let's check out very well. Alright. Go back to your div cursor and let's make it to be active. We didn't make it to be active, so it's not displaying anything at the moment. Go ahead and hit active and save right now. So we'll go back to your browser and hit R refresh. R refresh, is it it? Wow, that's just the first image. And it's not scrolling because it's just the only image there. So go ahead and copy this. Copy all this block. And paste it. We have to make one just active and not the two. And I'm going to change this to scroll2.png. PNG and save. So you see I've added my first image, which is in this block, and I've added the second image, which is in this block. So go ahead and hit on this and refresh this page. So you see the image we scroll from right to left, and it is scroll again. And currently, we've not added any control buttons here. There's no control button here. No navigation buttons. So that you can be able to click this left or right or anywhere. And remember that if your mouse comes on top of the image, it will just stay still. It will not move. You see that? So I put my mouse back here. It will just keep staying still. And that is how it works in all browsers. And that is how scroll carousels work. Alright? So in the next video, go ahead and put our control buttons, previews, and next buttons, and also our text, so I can see the text I added here before. So I hope this is really becoming interesting. So remember to make just one active, so you don't have complete because we forgot to make this active before, and I don't know why I really forgot to do that, and I want to run and launch in Chrome. So I hope it's very simple. So in the next video, I will show us how to put some navigation buttons that is called control buttons. Alright, and after the control buttons, cut buttons. Wow, what am I? This is tongue twisting. So after the control buttons, look at indicators, and after indicators, we'll look at text, how to add text to the cursor. So it's going to be very interesting at the end, and I hope we're moving step by step so that you can be able to make references. And if you guys have any question, don't forget to ask me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. The code is right before you, and you can be able to download it again from the resource folder. So thank you very much, and I want to see you in the next video lecture. Okay, let's go ahead and add a control button, previews, and next buttons on our cursor. So just down here, I copy that just down here. Go ahead and shift this and with an anchor tag. So this is what you did in the previous lecture. In case you jumped in, you have to go back and visit the previous lecture. But if you have been following us, let's kick off and move on. Put the class of this anchor. So be equal to, this should be, we need a previous and then next button. Let's make the first one to be previous. Let's say carousel. Control. Brief. Alright, this is brief, and href is equal to, it's going to be the ID of our carousel, and that is, let's make it to be href my slide. Yeah, that is our carousel ID. And don't forget to put an hashtag. Alright, so the row is equal to button. Alright, so we see countdown, data slide is equal to next, and go ahead and close your anchor, and down here carousel anchor tag. Then inside the anchor tag, go ahead and add a span. And the class of the span is equal to say carousel. Carousel control. Next icon. Close the span. And add another span again. Plus I'm not finished with the first one. This is a screen read. For people that cannot read the screen read only. Let's cross this and say it is next. So, for people who can read the screen, they're going to see next. Span. For you're going to see icon. So go back to your first span, and after the class, go ahead and hide and write area heading equal to through. And outside there, you go ahead and close your span tag. Okay, so you might ask me, why did I bring down this? So I didn't want this will be in one line. You see that? Because it's extending and I don't want it to be extending. I want us to see everything. That is why I have to break it down. So don't say this is another line altogether. So it's just one line. Alright. So I hope that is okay. I want us to be seeing the code. So we have created an icon for the next. And I hope it's really okay. And I hope we are really working with previous, I'm not next. So we have to change everything here to previous, I'm not next. Alright? Brief. And this is prev. And this is previous. So for screen read only. So whenever you see S or hyphen only, it means screen read only. Okay? So I want to apologize for this mistake I made here. It's really not professional. It's really not professional way of teaching because I just supposed to make a mistake, but I am sorry for that. Okay, I'm sorry because I put next instead of previous. So now that I've created this, let's save this. Ctrl S. Go back to our browser. So this is what we did in the previous lecture, and let's check if we're going to have a previous button shown. You see, we have your previous button here, and when you click, it moves. When you click, it moves. So there is no next button at the end. Let's go ahead and add that immediately. So go ahead and copy everything you did in the previous. Copy and paste. So go ahead and change all your previous to next. Change all your previous to next. 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 Next icon. So it's just very easy. And here, screen Ori for people who can read, then we're going to see screen on the Next, I'm going here press Ctrl S on your keyboard and save this. So let's check and make sure I will not make a mistake and it's changing things at this time around. So, and I'll go here with a comment so that it should be easier for us to understand. Icon for previous. I'll close this and I'm going to copy this. So I just added a comment icon for next. Okay, I hope I have justified this, and I'm seriously apologizing for making such a mistake on my course. So let's go ahead and hit on this. So you can see you have a next right here. You see that? Previous. And right now, there are no control buttons like down here. So there's no button you can click down here. So that is to be able to navigate. So in the next lecture, we'll go ahead and add control buttons. It's going to be very interesting, I promise you. So it's going to be very amazing. So we've all started, and we're not going back. Let me keep this code so I can be able to put it down and you still download it from the resource folder. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Let's go ahead and look at how to add indicators on our carousel slide. So just above here, where you have your ID. So go ahead and bring this down. I want to give a space so that you can know what you're doing. And I'm going to break comments. I'm going to say icon for indicators. Okay, and down here, I'm going to put an ordered list with a class equal to carousel indicators. I'll close this, and coming down here, I'll close mine ordered list. And inside ordered list, I will put my list, my first list, with a data target equal to the ID hash my slide. And data slide 2. Data slide 2 equals 0. So in programming, you count 0 before 1, so it comes 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0 comes first. And let's make this class to be active. So the first one, which is 0, should be active. Go ahead and close. And close your list. Go ahead and copy all these. And paste. Change 0 to 1. I remove the second one to be acts. The second one will not be active. It's just the first one. So now you've done this. It's just very easy. And this space is too much. So let's go ahead and remove this space. Okay, have that is cool. And you can see that. So go ahead and save. And go back. This is what you did in the previous lecture. And go ahead and refresh. And you might ask me, what are my indicators? Okay, this is white, and the indicators are white as well. So let's go ahead and see that. You see that? You can see 2 indicators just right here. I hope they're visible. So what you click on here equals, are you not seeing this? I'm going to add a text with a background that you cover. This so to always show, because I have a laptop that has a white background and it's preventing my cursor to show. So except I go back to animate, that can be able to show the indicators. You see that? And that's when I can be able to see that. So you see that when you click, it goes. While you click, comes back. I'm not clicking on the previous and next. I'm just clicking on the indicators, and they're working very fine. So I'll add a text with a background so it will cover this white background of the laptop, so I can be able to see this working out very fine and very sweet. So in the next video, I'll show you how to add a text on your carousel so that you can describe the image for your audience in case you want to do that. Alright, so I hope that is very interesting, and you're really enjoying this. I promise you that at the end of this course, you're going to enjoy this at the end, because you become a professional web developer. So right now, the code is just very before you. You can go ahead and add that. And if you have any problem, don't forget to box me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you and see you in the next video lecture. In the previous lecture, we've added an indicator, a cursor button, and we created a carousel in this house. And in this video lecture, we go ahead and learn how to add a text on our carousel. Because currently, if you look at this, there is not text. See that? So let me go ahead and teach us how to add a text. So go to individual, excuse me guys. I think I have to text some buttons or rather. Alright, thank you. So, under the individual images, start on the fourth image. Inside here, I'm going to create a div tag with a class. What to say? Carousel caption. Denom. And medium devices block. So, and let's give it a background color, or you can leave it if you want. So let's save this and close our div. And down here, I'm going to add my div tag. Where's my div tag? So inside the div, let me give it #3. Loads my #3. And inside here, I'm going to say Justi War Academy. So let's add some paragraph. And beside the paragraph, I'm going to say welcome to School of Computer Programming. Okay, let's save this. And let's go about this. And let's refresh. You see, we have a text here, but because of the nature of the image I'm using, you can see that. So if your image can be able to display your text, there's no need to add the background. But if you want to go ahead and add, let's go ahead and add under the plus. So go ahead and put a BG color. Of primary, I save this. Go back. I refresh, you see that? And you can see my indicators here. Can see that? So we have just a text on one image. Let's go ahead and add text on the second image. Oh, come on. So go ahead and copy all these. Copy, go to the second image. And paste. And I'm going to say, just to wall, just to dance. And what I'm going to say here is, join. Okay, I'm going to add something as everything. Just to dance. End up becoming professional. Programmers, save. And go back. You see, let's check. The text is not yet here. Go ahead and refresh. And let's move. So that just to both students, our students end up becoming professional programmers. You can hit on the indicators and then move. See, the indicators are visible right now. So, and this is very interesting. I'm just clicking on the indicators. I can click on the previous. And next, You see that? So, and this brings us to the end of Carousel, and if you have any question, don't forget to box me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And for more learning on Bootstrap, check out Bootstrap documentation. It's going to help you a lot as a developer to know more on Bootstrap. Okay, so we are moving, and I hope you are enjoying this course, so thank you very much.